Welcome to Holistic Health is Hot, where your journey to sculpting your dream body meets holistic health. I'm your host, Ashley Roberts. Here, we're going to chat about mindset hacks that have completely transformed my life and dive deep into nutrition and movement that will help transform yours. We're going to get into the intense connection between mind, body, and soul so you can glow from the inside out. Let's get into it. And remember, holistic health is hot.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Holistic Health is Hot. I have a very, very special guest here today.
Luna Bear.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Hunsicker. I am the luckiest guy in the world because I am Ashley's boyfriend and Luna's dad.
Yeah. So, we are going to just tell a little bit about our story. I'm going to do some rapid fire questions, kind of talk about like the seasons of our relationship, how we communicate, how we stay healthy together, because let me tell you, we definitely were not the healthiest at the beginning of our relationship. So
We're having fun.
We were having a lot of fun, but how we kind of overcame that. But first, I really want to go into just a little bit of background of like who you are, what your story is, and then we'll kind of go into our relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Who I am. Still trying to figure that out.
Aren't we all?
So just like my story, like who I am?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is
Eric Hunsicker.
like I said.
Yeah, like, I don't know, talk about your fitness journey a little bit.
Yeah, so I grew up and I was sort of, I say I was like the fat kid. I wasn't like the fat kid. People didn't like bully me. Like it was never like an external thing, but like internally, I felt like the fat kid. And I was very uncomfortable in my own skin. And I first kind of like became aware of that in the 4th grade. I was like 10 years old.
Which is like so young.
Yeah.
To notice your body at that age.
Yeah, it is. And so I made some changes. Like I really could have gone either way. I could have gone the route that I did, or I could have been an unhealthier, fatter version of myself. And so I told my mom, stop packing me desserts in my lunch, stopped drinking soda, started riding my bike as much as I could. We were lucky enough to have a pool growing up, so I was like swimming as much as I could. And I lost the weight, I got a little slimmer. And then from there, I was already playing a lot of sports, but, 4th grade, it's like, whatever. But 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, going on into high school, like things get more competitive. You also like grow and puberty and whatnot. And so I was also always kind of like pretty lean, like in high school, and went off to college. No idea what I wanted to do. And
also, Eric was like the lacrosse MVP. Like the star lacrosse player. Yeah, you were well, I feel like you kind of brushed over like how athletic you were.
Yeah, I was very athletic. I played football, basketball, and lacrosse all 4 years except for basketball my freshman year. My dad will never let me live that down.
I forget, was your dad the coach or like the assistant coach or something?
No,
or did I
he was my coach like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. Where it really counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very athletic. And like, just like each sport.
Did you work out in high school, or was it mainly like just sports?
Not really. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just sports. Like, I remember one year we had this over summer. We had this football guy come in. He was actually a Coast Guard guy come in and do some strength training stuff with us for one summer, and his name was Coach Sir. And I remember that was the first time I did a Romanian deadlift, and I couldn't walk for like a week. I remember he was like forcing me to squat 225, and I like should not have been squatting 225, but we didn't really do any sort of weight training really. Like we did like a little bit, but it was like
really?
Not.
That's kind of surprising. I thought like football you would kind of.
You'd think, but my school kind of had their head up their ass. But yeah, and then went off to college, and I wasn't playing sports anymore, and that's where I really fell in love with the gym, strength training, really coming at it from like an aesthetic, like more bodybuilding view of it, and so that's kind of like how it all got started and flourished.
What do you do now?
What do I do now? I'm an online health and fitness coach.
YouTuber.
I'm a YouTuber. Go hit that subscribe button at Eric Hunsicker.
Yeah, he's got some straight fire videos. He's also my behind-the-scenes cameraman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, obsessed with cameras.
I love cameras. I love videography, the outdoors, hiking, snowboarding.
Yeah, we've been on a hype right now.
We're getting ready to head out for a little trip tomorrow with some powder and getting excited. And yeah, as far as like fitness goes, I don't know, like that's kind of how it all started, and I feel like it's changed over the years, obviously. You know, I've changed, I've gotten older, my goals have changed. You know, like I said, I kind of got into everything from like a bodybuilding aesthetic perspective, and I still think that stuff's important and still like value that stuff, but
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about how you like, yeah, I want to really like take care of my body and make sure I'm not getting hurt, like mobility, and then what did you do last night?
I found this new like snowboarder couple that does workouts, and there was this fucking workout I was doing, and it was this like single arm plank on a kettlebell, and you like jump up and like do a deadlift with it. And I was using this like shittier kettlebell. I should use my nice one that had a flat bottom. This one was like hella sketchy, and this whole time I'm like, oh man, this is kind of sketchy. So I went from the padded to the hard ground, at least where the kettlebell was, and yeah, I did a couple rounds, ate it, smacked the shit out of my knee
like
right
before we're going to Tahoe.
So it's fine. We're staying hydrated. We're getting plenty of protein, plenty of rest. We're gonna ice it.
What can we learn
Got
from
some
this?
icy hot on it. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack on that. But anyways, yeah, my goals kind of changed over the years, and like just want to like obviously look good, but like more importantly, like be healthy, feel good from the inside out, avoid injury.
Yeah.
It's a little niggle. I wouldn't really call it a injury, but yeah.
I know, but even
just
like
my fucking
the
luck.
other day, you hurt your shoulder too.
Yeah, sleeping. Woke up to like I couldn't really like raise my arm.
I feel like that was what really sparked our conversation of, okay, we really need to get into mobility, like
yeah.
make sure we're feeling
I've
good.
always been as athletic as I've always been like so incredibly stiff.
Yeah.
And it's something I've wanted to work on for years. Every New Year's rolls around, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like really take my flexibility, my mobility seriously, and I haven't. But I feel like now, like I don't know, being older, like you see how much more important it is, and also just like we have like the space and the spot and like the perfect setup with our little garage gym to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
To try new movements and stuff where you can eat shit and no one's watching.
Yeah. Also, I'm just so fucking bored with the gym right now that I'm excited to try some new things.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like it helps because it was like, what is that couple's name on Instagram?
The Mobility Duo.
Yes. And they talk about how like mobility and workout specifically for snowboarding. And it's kind of fun to like have the motivation to work out to be better at snowboarding. Because I think like as we grow and evolve, we get bored. Like I was in love with the gym at first because it was new, and now it's like, okay, I'm fucking bored. I need to switch it up. And so I've been struggling to keep that consistency because I've been bored. So hopefully this will.
Yeah, I've definitely been bored with like I said, I got into like the gym again through that like bodybuilding lens, and rarely strayed from that, and that's like what I've been doing for like 11 years now. Ooh. Wow, that's weird to say out loud. But yeah, and so yeah, I think just it's been fun. I don't know, I was talking to someone the other day about how like I was talking to one person who's thinking about doing a bodybuilding competition, and I was like, ooh, like that might be good, like to have something to work towards, like just like wanting to lose a little bit of fat, like look a little better is like that was like kind of my goal all year last year, and I didn't really achieve it because I didn't really care enough.
Yeah.
I didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like I didn't have like enough of a why to like do it.
I was just gonna say.
And so like I think having something like that. So like for instance, this one conversation with this one guy, he was saying like, yeah, I think I might compete again next year. I was like, oh, like I like the idea of that because it's like give me something to work towards. And talking to another friend, who's like getting ready for another marathon and like, oh, like working towards something.
Yeah.
You know, and again, those two are very different. One's, you know, completely aesthetic, and the other one's completely performance. But like working towards something.
Yeah.
And so.
Like when I was auditioning for pro dance teams, oh my God, I literally go to the gym twice a day, and I loved it. It wasn't like, oh, I have to go to the gym again. I'm like, I get to go to the gym again because I was so hyped to be working towards something.
And I used to like skip class in college, like to go to the gym.
Really?
Yeah.
We had
I think part of it was like before I was working out at like a shitty 24-hour fitness gym, and then you go to a college gym and it's like hella nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So anything else about your story that you want to add in? If not, we'll kind of talk about like...
No.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to share the story of how we first met?
Why don't you?
No, you're my guest.
Oh, okay. Let's do it together.
Okay.
So Ashley and I grew up in the same town.
Rivalry high schools.
Go Petaluma High.
I can't even say go Gauchos. Like, I just can't.
But we always like knew who we were, but never spoke, never hung out. And then I was working as a personal trainer at a gym that Ashley went to, and
I forget if I've ever told you this. Actually, I feel like maybe I have, but I remember the first time I ever saw you working there. I, like, again, knew of you, but I was like, who? Like, for some reason, I thought I knew you. And I remember I walked up with, like, confidence, hey, and then you, like, said hi, but I was like, who the fuck do I think I am? Like, I literally don't know him. And I'm just like, well, you work there, so I guess it's not that weird. But in my mind, I, like, walked up with such confidence, and I was like, I literally don't even know him. Like, why am I acting like I know him?
But yeah, that was a long time ago. I worked there from like late 2018 till 2020, and the world shut down. Yeah, so that was like late 2018 to 2020. I worked there, and we didn't start dating till early, like the very first week or two of 2022.
Yeah.
And we slid into each other's DMs.
But you always miss this part. Like, the reason we even started talking is because I was always following him. Because it was like, there's not that many fitness people in Petaluma, to be honest. So I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna follow his fitness account. Like, that's sick. Which this was like a hella long time ago. Probably like when I started my fitness account in like, I don't know, 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And then he followed me that day. So it wasn't like a randomly, like, we both messaged each other out of the blue. He had followed me that day, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? That's so weird. Truthfully, in my head, I was like, oh, he probably is going through a breakup or something like that. For you to follow me randomly, like, I was like, okay, like, this is weird. But I jumped on it, and I was like, okay, there's got to be a reason for this, so why not? Like,
I posted a picture of an Alani Nu energy drink, and you posted a picture of like oatmeal or something.
You don't even eat oatmeal.
Huh?
You don't even eat oatmeal.
You posted the oatmeal.
I know, but
Still looks fire to look at. And so I said something like, I don't even know. We should go back and look and see if we could be like, ooh, yeah, it looks bomb. And
I probably said Alani Nu's are the best.
Yeah. And so we slid. It was 10 minutes apart. Like, Ashley slid in first.
I did. I jumped on
but
it.
I didn't even see it, and I responded to her. And then like we just kept talking, and I don't know why I scrolled back and realized that probably to get proof of who slid first.
Yeah, but then like I've never talked to anyone who literally sent me paragraphs. Like we were we weren't just like, hey, how are you guys going? Like I feel like we were having like hi. We were just having like insane conversations, and then He asked if I was still dating. Or, well, this is what did you say?
You were moving in here.
Yeah, I was moving into this house.
Like, oh, you're moving in with your boyfriend?
Yeah, and I was like...
Oh, I haven't been with him
like, what the fuck? I haven't been with him for so long.
I kind of figured that, but that was just like a quick, easy way to like
I wouldn't be...
test the waters.
I wouldn't be talking to you and sending you paragraphs if I had a boyfriend.
You never know. People are crazy these days.
People are crazy these days.
That was my little temp check.
I know, I literally LOL'd when you said that. I was like, no.
Yeah, and then we were supposed to hang out.
Like literally that week.
But then you went on a snowboarding trip.
Yeah, I went on the Girls That Board trip. And it's so funny because the old Ashley would have made the time. Like, I would have been like, oh my God, like I gotta make room in my schedule. Like he wants to hang out. And like, this is no hate to you. I was just in my independent girly era.
I thought it was cool that you like.
And I was like, sorry, I don't have time. Like, I'll hit you up when I'm back.
Yeah. And then you didn't text me that whole trip.
I
partying,
didn't.
Getting turned with the girls,
I know.
snowboarding.
With literally random girls I've never met. But it was funny because on the drive home, I drove up with one of the girls and I was like, fuck, like, I really fucked it up. I just stopped texting him. And she's like, just text him now and tell him what's up. I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I probably just fucked it up. Like, maybe not.
Oh, well.
Text him right now. And then I did. And then you responded in like a second. I was like, oh.
Just sitting there waiting.
He even said something like, I only cried a few times or something like that. And I was like, wow.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
Not a guy that's like toxic masculinity. Like, talking about crying, I don't know many guys that would even say that as a joke. Yeah. Like, so, yeah, and then I got COVID. So we've been talking for like 2 weeks, like a lot. And then we went and grabbed a drink and...
Yeah. The rest is history.
Oh my God. After we went on our first date, I went to go pick up Luna and my mom. And Phil and my stepdad were like, okay, so don't be mad, but like we've been stalking him and we looked him up and he goes to our church. And like my family's not super religious. Phil, my stepdad, he plays guitar in the band. So like I haven't been in years, but my mom goes every once in a while. I'll go.
Phil goes and rocks out.
Yeah, if Phil's got a solo, you know, I'll be front row for that. But yeah, they were like, oh my gosh, like...
The Hunsickers.
Yeah, like, oh my God, like, they must be such a nice family. They go to our church. I'm like, LOL.
And then we hung out, and Ashley told me that. I'm like, oh, who's your stepdad? And she showed me a picture. I'm like, oh, you mean the guy that's been up at the front of church my entire life that I was, like, forced to go to church?
Yeah.
Oh, what up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that was funny.
Yeah, and then I think the first time... So, okay... We started hanging out a couple months in. Like, it was just one of those things that, like, everything was so easy.
Yeah.
It's so cliche to say when you know, but it's one of those things where it's just, like, everything was so fucking easy. Like,
and fun.
And just, like, I remember.
And light.
Yeah. He brought me flowers and chocolate for Valentine's Day, and I literally, like, cried. I was like... Never gotten this before, other than probably like my dad or something, or my mom for sure. But like I was like, wow, like he's so nice.
And then a month later from that, I asked you to be my girlfriend, and the right way, I got you a pair of Crocs, and
got me some Crocs.
Yeah.
I know. At first I was like, ugh, like I can't.
No, she can't. Doesn't take them off.
I know. Mine are disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually funny too, because the first time I wore them was in Hawaii with my whole family. And this was like probably a month after we had been dating. And oh my God, my mom was like, you have to wear them, like it's so sweet. And then everyone else in my family was like, what the fuck are those? Like, oh my God, Ashley, what are you doing? And I was like, Eric got them for me, and Taylor's probably like, what a pussy. And now my brother's like obsessed with Eric.
He got his second pair, and the whole family has them, except Nene.
Yeah, Nene needs to get some.
Nene needs to get a pair.
Nene's my mom.
Anyways, Crocs are goated if you don't have a pair.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. I was gonna say, remember when your mom brought out the
OG Crocs?
No. Sorry, going back to church.
Oh, yeah. My mom whipped out the... Because I told my parents about that whole stalking of me that your parents did. And I told my mom. And, like, I think the first time you came over for dinner, my mom was like, oh, you mean like this? And, like,
yeah.
had that thing ready to go.
The sweetest.
Sweetest soul.
human in the whole entire world. She was like, Eric, is it okay if I show her? Yeah. And then, so it's pretty much this book from our church, and
it's like a yearbook.
Yeah, and there's family photos, and my family and his family have the exact same photo because he has one sister, I have one brother, and so like it's literally this pose of like
it's like a JCPenney photo shoot vibe.
Yeah, oh, it's so funny though.
Good times.
Good times. Ooh, I feel like this is a good question. What were your first impressions of me, and how have they changed over time?
So my first impressions of you was like this like super chill, relaxed, just like go with the flow girl. And you are that for the most part. But getting to know you more over the last 2 years, it's not quite as, you know.
Okay, come on. When you first start dating, it's like, and honestly, I feel like I have grown a lot in the last couple of years.
For sure.
Talked to my therapist a lot about this, but like, I have always tried to be that like chill girl.
Well, it stems from being like a people pleaser.
For sure, but I also like, I feel like I was a little bit closed off when we first started dating. I was like, I don't really give a fuck about anything right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to have fun. Like, I remember you told me something one time though, that you were like, oh, like when I first met you, what did you say?
I don't know, maybe something around like you did that Girls at Board trip like right when we first started dating, and I thought that was like really cool. Like you found a group that was like going to Tahoe, like getting a house together. I'm like, that's dope. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had the balls to do something like that.
I don't know. I really like meeting new people. Like it's so fun for me. But yeah. And I honestly like still talk to a lot of the girls that I went on the trip with, but yeah, I'm definitely not the chill, go with the flow girl. Like I think, okay, actually.
You are,
I feel
to
like
an extent.
when I was single, I was chill, go with the flow because I got to control the flow. I was like, I get to do whatever the fuck I want.
But now you're like stuck with me.
Now I'm stuck in the best way. Oh my God, baby.
I know.
And so I'm not as chill, but I think that's okay. Like I don't think we as females need to be go with the flow.
Yeah, that's what you got me for.
Yeah,
wait, I want to ask you the same question. What did you first think about me?
Okay. I honestly thought you were such a goody two shoes. Like, remember we talked about this?
What are you saying? I'm not?
You are to an extent, but I don't know. I didn't know you snowboarded. Like, I knew you liked...
I'm a bad boy. I snowboard. He's not a skier. He's a snowboarder.
No, like, I don't know. I thought you were a little bit of a goody two shoes. And then we've talked about, like, just past experiences that we have had that I'm not going to talk about on here. And I was like, oh, shit, you're a bad boy. I didn't know. Because he's just, like,
live life to the fullest.
So sweet, so genuine.
Which is still true.
Yeah, it is. So down to earth. And I didn't know this wild side. And one thing I love about you is, like, I feel like I'm the same way where we can kind of, like,
I'm a chameleon.
yeah, in certain situations, like we can go party our
Want to
faces
turn up?
off.
Let's turn up.
But we also
Want
like
to sit in the house and read a book?
Yeah.
Get some coffee? Count me the fuck in.
Yeah, we have goals. We like
Fire me the fuck up.
Fire me the fuck up. That is my saying.
Your trademark. I know. I stole that.
I said it.
Apologies. That is trademark.
No, I was just saying that's my word of the year. Fire me the fuck up.
Words of the year.
Yeah. But yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like I really like that we are adaptable in certain situations, which I think is fun. Because there's a lot of people that are like one or the other, where they're like, oh, I'm party crazy. I want to drink every single weekend. And then there's other people that like want to stay home and do nothing, all like 24/7.
We got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, we really do. Fun fact: we started. What?
Just looking at you.
Oh, is my fluff ball weird?
Yeah, it's perfect.
When we first started dating, we were only together for 3 months before we moved in together.
No. We were, actually dating?
Oh, I don't know.
We started talking in January, dating in March, moved in July. So 4 officially dating, but talking for like 6, which is still quick.
Yeah, I feel like that's quick. You're
Very
looking
quick.
at me like,
Well, you said 3 months. I'm like, okay, whoa. Whoa.
Oh, it felt quick. Yeah, it's funny because I moved in here after that Girls That Board trip in January. I got COVID. My family was not happy. And I was like, you know what? I already hired movers. It's fine. Like,
Don't worry about it.
but me and Luna were like in the backyard in our little teeny tiny backyard, just
10
like
by 10 backyard.
blocked off from everyone. Well, I was
Look,
like,
that goes over there.
Yeah.
No, that goes in the kitchen.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Where was I going with this? Oh, we moved in together, but what was the biggest adjustment for you when we started living together?
I don't know.
Pretty chill.
Yeah, it was very chill. Like, I was living with my sister and my brother-in-law before that, which was great, and we had a lot of fun. But it was just it was a pretty small house, and it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I had a bedroom and an office because I worked from home. And then, like, not even halfway through, my brother-in-law started working from home, like, in the living room. And so it was just a little tight. You know, love him to death. We hang out with him all the time. And that was a great experience. Super glad it happened the way that it did and everything. But, like, I think at the time they were ready for their own space. I was ready for a new space. And so, I don't know. There wasn't really any adjusting period.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I talked to some friends.
I remember, like, it was, like, we had so much fun living together for, like, the first, I mean, we still do. But I feel like maybe like a little bit lately, it's just been like we need a little bit more of our own personal space.
Yeah.
But like at the beginning,
like we still have fun.
Oh my God, yeah, we do. But like at the beginning, I just remember like every meal, I just like, hey, what's up?
I know. I feel like people freak out about moving in with their partner, and I'm like, no, it's actually so fucking fun.
Yeah, it's the best.
And if you're not having fun living with your partner, like, it's probably not the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and we spend more time together because we both live and work from home, like.
Yeah. Now we're like scheduling
anyone.
in some.
Yeah, and we've kind of.
Our own things.
Yeah.
Our own days.
I think after living together for like, I don't know, it's been a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
I think we've learned that like, we still have so much fun together, but we definitely need some space.
We have more fun when we have our own space.
And also, too, we spend a lot of time together, but we don't.
It hasn't been the most quality time.
Yeah, and so we've learned that we need to really, like, have that time. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. We'll be, like, sitting on a computer watching TV, like, not talking. And I'm like, yeah, the time is there, but, like.
Yeah, we're physically next to each other, but
Yeah.
not, like, engaging.
Mm-hmm. I feel like kind of what we were talking about is a good transition and segue into like the seasons of our relationship. Mm-hmm. And just want to explain kind of what I mean. And I feel like I didn't know this because I've never been in a healthy relationship before, but I feel like we have had seasons of our relationship, and I think that's okay. Like when we first started dating, kind of like we talked about, we were kind of like drinking a lot and having so much fun, but like, which was amazing, and like getting to know each other and stuff like that. And then
kind of necessary almost.
For sure. I would hope that you're having fun. Anyways.
It's okay. This is our life.
Yeah, I know, for real. But oh my God. But then after that, like, and I think we're coming out of this phase. I think we're done with this phase, I think, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like the healing. What?
Nothing.
You keep I'm just staring at me. But if you're like looking down.
No, I'm just making sure this is on enough. Yeah.
The next season I feel like was like kind of like I was healing some deep wounds that I had. You're pretty calm, cool, and collected, but I
got my shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like going through some healing. I feel like we kind of like went through a little bit of a intense year. I feel like me personally, I was going through a lot. Luna, no. I was going through a lot, like kind of like looking at my relationship with alcohol. Like we were traveling a lot, just not.
So many weddings.
7
weddings
just
last year.
Kind of having a hard
year,
period
to be honest.
Of life.
2023 kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And so I think like that season of relationship is necessary, and I'm glad that we went through that and we came out of that.
Well, and I feel like, yeah, you come out of that one of two ways.
Yeah.
Either you don't
Yeah.
or you do, and we did. It came out like stronger.
For sure.
You know?
And I think we kind of talked about this on New Year's Eve. We did this whole reflection of 2023 and like kind of goals for 2024.
Intentions and stuff.
Just how like now that we've kind of gone through that healing, which we're obviously always going to have problems, but now
Right.
we kind of are deciding what kind of relationship we want to have.
Well, what do we want the future to look
Who do
like?
we want to be? Yeah. So that's kind of fun. So do you want to talk about like some of the things we talked about?
Yeah, well, I think, I mean, like you said, we kind of reflected on the year and like what went well and what maybe didn't go so well and like what we want to change. And I think the biggest thing that came out of that was, and this kind of goes back to like spending a lot of time together, but it not necessarily maybe being the most high quality time. We came up with this weekly vibe check.
Yes.
So we have this, it's just a small little prompt, like kind of, before that we like talked about like, what are some things that we want to do this year or like right now, like that I want to work on each week. And so one thing on the vibe check is like, how can I, like, what do y'all going on this week and how can I help keep you accountable?
Yeah, because we've definitely noticed being together that we're so comfortable with each other that we don't really push each other.
Yeah, we do, but we haven't been pushing each other to the extent that we need to be pushed.
Yeah.
You know, like we are each other's safe space.
Yeah, and so we're like, even as simple as like working out, we're gonna let's just not.
Cheeseburger tacos for the fourth time this week. Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of being like, no, like look, come on, like one of us being like, let's push each other. And Eric did this immediately on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, the house was clean, but just cluttered. There was stuff everywhere, and actually, yeah, let's do that first thing tomorrow morning. I was like, no, let's do it now.
And I literally was like, no, I do not want to do it.
Let's set a 10-minute timer, get as much done as we can, and we did it. The house looked great. Woke up in the new year.
Yeah. I was like, no, let's just not. Come on. Like we had just gone, had a couple glasses of wine, and I was like tired, getting ready to like sit down.
Yeah.
And then he forced it, and then we cleaned. Yeah, the house looked amazing. It felt so good, and it's like just getting over the hump.
Come here.
Of like pushing each other to do the thing. So, but actually, I feel like we should talk about what's on the vibe check because I love.
Bring up that vibe check.
Yeah. So the first thing is like meal planning.
Yeah, which is something we've kind of struggled with.
So meal plans, just because we feel like
we have. This is something we've been working on, and we're still figuring out the best way to do it. And I think we still haven't dedicated enough time to like sit down and actually figure out some new meat recipes because like we just kind of, for the most part, our meals are like throw what you know.
Yeah.
What's like got protein, veggies, and like easy to make.
Yeah.
Or is it cheeseburger tacos?
Yeah.
Which honestly isn't that bad.
No, it's not. But yeah, I think we just, and honestly, cooking can take up so much time if you let it, especially working from home. We're like, okay, cool, let's like make lunch together. Let's make dinner. And it's like, this is so not efficient.
Yeah.
Especially like in the middle of our workday. Like we're both so busy with doing a million things.
So after we meal plan,
How did last week go? How could I have supported you better? Which I feel like this is so important because you always want to learn and grow in a relationship, but if you can't communicate, you're stuck. There's no way to move past. And I do want to talk about communication maybe after this, just because I feel like we are so good at that. And then the next one is, how does this week look like?
the week ahead.
How can I support you / keep you accountable? Again, we wanted to add that just because, we have each other. We might as well use each other as accountability partners. Like we both have really big dreams and goals and aspirations, but, sometimes it's hard to keep yourself motivated and on track. So it's nice to have that accountability.
Have someone keeping an eye on your success.
And then scheduled date night, quality time is the next one. And then what's the condition of the house? Just like cleaning wise. Just because...
Doesn't need a full clean, doesn't need a little tidy up.
Yeah.
Need a sucky sock.
Exactly.
That's vacuum.
He's talking about the vacuum. Okay. But yeah, I think that kind of brings us into communication. Why do you feel like we've been so good at communicating with each other? Because I know I've never been that way.
I don't know. I think we started off strong.
Yeah.
You know, very open about how we're feeling about things. And I mean, it's not always perfect. Like sometimes we're both very childish.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, we're just able to like have the hard conversations.
Also, I feel like too, Eric is a unicorn, I always call him, because he's like one of a kind, but he is just, I've never met anyone like him where, no, we're not doing that, Luna. He's one of a kind where he will literally sit and listen to my feelings. And when we first started dating, I remember I cried in front of him and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, you don't have to apologize for crying. Like, feel the feelings you need to feel. And I was like, the fuck? Like, who are you? I've literally, love you, Mom. I know she's probably gonna listen to this, but I feel like growing up, like, you're always told, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like, shh, shh, shh. You know, as a kid, even from ages 0 to 7, that's when your brain is like a literal sponge. And even if like you don't realize it's from that past experience, like being in a store, throwing a temper tantrum as a child and everyone's telling you like, shh, like your opinion doesn't matter. You just need to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not saying my parents did that to me, but like, that's kind of the vibe of like, no, don't make a scene. You need to cry or you don't need to cry, like kind of a thing. So
Luna's hearing it's okay to cry, so she started crying.
yeah. Luna! But yeah, so I feel like that was almost like I always joke about this. I'm like, he probably wishes he didn't say that because I am the biggest crier. I cannot help it. Like, waterfalls all the time. At least once a week. Yeah. I probably cry more than you even know, honestly.
Yeah. Tell me that.
I don't know what it is. I can't hold it in. And it's something that has...
I think that's healthy, though. You know, like, I feel like too many people, like, try to hold that stuff in, and it's a release, you know?
Yeah. I actually read something somewhere that when you cry, it releases...
Endorphins?
Serotonin.
Yeah, I bet.
That's supposed to make you feel better. But, like, even last night, I was trying to hold my cry in so hard. Like, whenever I get silent, that's when I'm trying to hold my cry in.
I wasn't trying to be crying.
And, like, literally, like, my throat hurts. Like, my body physically hurts if I don't let the crying out.
Let it out. Let it out, then in. That's what I always say.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like we just started our communication from the very beginning so strong. There's one thing.
Just kept it going.
One thing in particular that I remember I communicated to you, and I was scared to tell you. I was like really scared because I don't know. I was just like nervous. I'm gonna cut this part out, but the whole thing. I just didn't want you to think that I was like talking to other people or anything like that, and so I was like afraid of how that would look if I actually communicated it to you. And you were just like, wow, like thanks for being so open with me. Mm-hmm. And like I feel like that's just like
I'm a pretty understanding guy.
Yeah, that too.
To a fault at some points. Not, I'm not saying with you, but in the past, too understanding to a fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like communication is like what do I want to say? Like the base, I don't know, it's like the
foundation.
The foundation of a relationship, because even like with everything, like communicating your feelings, communicating what you want for dinner. Like I talk to clients all the time where they're like, it's really hard because my husband or boyfriend doesn't want to eat healthy. Yeah. And like,
you got to be on the same page.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be exactly, but like.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be,
Exactly, but like the same vibe, same
or at least
direction.
Someone that is willing to listen and understand and, you know, help you.
Yeah.
Or support you, I mean.
Yeah, and we got lucky. We got all that.
I know. Okay, the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, what's your advice for a couple who's trying to get fit and communicate with their partner?
I don't know. I think the first thing that comes to mind is like, in the past when like talking with clients about, maybe that's like an objection of like starting coaching or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, like I got to talk to my wife or I got to talk to my husband or whatever. And it's like, if, let's say you didn't do this, let's say you didn't decide to, take charge of your health and your fitness and get started on that, like, who are you going to resent a year from now, 2 years, 5 years from now, you or your partner? And I think, I don't know, that's just the kind of the first thing that came to mind. And I don't know, I think just understanding that it's going to better yourself, which is going to better the relationship, and just meeting each other where he's at. Like, I totally understand like how frustrating it could be. Like, you want to go on this fitness journey, but like maybe your partner doesn't, or like isn't supportive, and like figuring out why. Like, maybe that person is like, oh my God, like that means then I have to face my own insecurities and this and that. And then like, I get that can be scary, but it's like, what is it that's so intimidating about that? Are you just uneducated? Do you don't think you can do it? And I think, yeah, I think it's easy to like look at it initially from the perspective of like, oh man, it sucks when you have a partner who like doesn't support you. But it's like, what's that other partner going through?
Yeah, so true. But just like being able to have the conversation. And I feel like it can be hard if you didn't start off your relationship like me and Eric did, but it's never too late.
Yeah.
And if that person loves you, like, they should want to support you in whatever way it looks like. And being the one to have the hard conversations and be the one to be like, hey, let's set 5 minutes today to just talk about like what we want, how we're doing, how I can support you. It's really not complicated, but it definitely, can be
Simple,
scary.
but it's not easy.
Yes, that's
And if they can't do that, fucking leave them.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Rapid fire questions, literally 1-word answers.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to have you share your Instagram handle.
Okay.
Early bird or night owl?
What?
Early bird. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Favorite meal?
Pizza.
One book you'd recommend to everyone?
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
If you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would it be?
Japan.
What's one hobby you'd love to pick up? Drone flying?
Yeah. No, I feel like there's maybe like woodworking or painting.
Ooh, love.
Probably woodworking.
Most memorable date we've had?
That fancy ass dinner we went to in Mexico. When they did like the fireside dessert.
Yeah.
That was the first one that came to mind.
One movie you never get tired of watching?
It's not a movie, but Seinfeld.
Oh God, yeah. One thing you can't leave the house without?
Gravity disc.
Favorite season of the year?
I'm really turning into a fall boy.
Fall boy.
Yeah.
You can't even like wake surf or snowboard though. That's interesting that you picked that.
I don't know. I feel like everyone's like, oh my God, fall, fall. And growing up, I'm like, fuck fall. That's
Fall
just
boy.
bullshit. But I don't know. I like it. It's like you're tired of the heat. You're ready for things to cool off. The leaves.
Yeah.
The holidays. It's a vibe.
Yeah. Last question. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Whoa. Do it scared.
Ooh, good one. Mic drop. Eric, I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
I love you. Thank you for having me.
What's your Instagram?
Follow me everywhere at Eric Hunsicker, E-R-I-C, Hunsicker, H-U-N-S-I-C-K-E-R. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Go subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
go.
what I really want to go
Shit is
more
fire.
into. I also have a website where I post articles. Got actually scheduled up a couple yesterday, so there'll be a couple coming over the next couple weeks. www.erichunsicker.com.
And follow me on Instagram, Ashley Robuts Fit, ASHLEYROBUTZFIT. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next
Peace.
one.
So fun.
It was so fun.